Welcome to episode 248 of the Muck Podcast. Listen in as we discuss the dark. I can't do it.
Keep it in. It's
and
fine.
sometimes weird true stories in American politics. I'm Tina Hanamiya.
And I'm Hillary Doherty.
Fuck it. Fuck, girl!
Yeah. America. Fuck yeah!
Yeah. I couldn't even get through the opening.
Yeah. So this is our last episode. Listen, I just right up front, my plan was 5 years always.
That's true. That's true.
If we, and technically 5 years would be the end of December, but that's okay. I think that, I think we've done very well. And I wish we had done much better. We had a much larger audience than we do, but we don't. And so it gets to the point where it's like, okay, we really, I don't want to say it's a disruption to our life, but it's become it's work for us. And we've described that many times. Mm-hmm. It's also the emotional labor that goes into doing this podcast is very heavy. Despite the fact that Trump has been reelected, it's also that we have to live in a state where Trump wasn't, when he wasn't president, we were suffering here.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about Biden. It's more about the state that we live in. And we're seeing no relief from that. There will be no relief in our lifetime. And so, there comes a point where we have a lot of wisdom and wit between the two of us. And it's for us now, right? Like it's for the work that we do, it's for the people that we love, it's for the people around us that care about us and that are in our lives, and it's for us to survive with. And like we have to do that, we have to do that off air for a while, I think.
And we're still gonna do the work. We're still gonna post information and updates. You'll see us online.
Yeah, so we'll keep the pages up. We're going to keep the podcast RSS feed up.
Yeah.
It's weird, too, because our last two episodes of YouTube have been unbelievable views. Like, more views. For us.
For us.
Where I'm just like, oh, now you're watching.
But no new subscribers. So I'm like, who the hell is watching this?
That's okay. And really, how do you do a podcast for 5 years if that's, like, I remember in the very beginning, we were obsessed with downloads.
Oh, yeah.
And we would look every week, and I don't look either.
It's pretty much the same.
Yeah, it's fine, which is fine.
Yeah.
They're always good for me. I always like, this is great. Somebody's listening, not just one person.
Yeah.
Somebody's listening, and so I'm proud of that. I'm proud of the work that we've done.
Me too.
It's been 5 years of informing people, entertaining people
every week for 5 years.
It's pretty impressive work.
Yes.
Especially when most of the years we were telling two stories each, and then it was one story each of like history. And so and
when we started this podcast, we were leading into the 2020 election.
We started January 2020.
So we were sort of on the tail end, but I just remember how horrible it was to talk about all of the things.
Yeah.
And that was for such a short window of time. Because thankfully, Biden got elected and then things calmed down. I mean, not in the state of Florida, God forbid.
Right.
But I already this week, with some of the things that I'm going to mention, it's so upsetting. I can't imagine having to sift through the horror week after week after week. And I think our time is best served, like, doing the work. And, I almost wanted to just say, I'm not doing any of this anymore, like, give everything
immediately
up.
I was like, fuck all this.
What am I doing? But then I was like, no. Because there's so many young, beautiful people in our lives. And when it gets, when it's the hardest, is when you can't stop. That's when you have to keep going.
Yeah.
So here we are. So I don't even know what I want to talk. I have things that I want to talk about, and it's sort of all over the place.
Well, okay, so let's start with election night. So Tina and I were together, thank God. Although, I remember in the beginning of the night, I have felt like I've felt this entire election just like this, and people were like, "How are you feeling?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay, let's see what happens." My mom would be like, "We're gonna do it," and I'm like, "Okay,
red mirage,
let's see." Yeah, Tina kept screaming out the red mirage, and then slowly over the time,
The realization.
Tina was panicked.
Yeah.
Other people around us were anxiety ridden, and I was like,
yeah.
Because, and I'm still like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's horrific, obviously, but I think that this is the first time in my life that my trauma-based life has served me well. Because I was going, Because I've said this also for 5 years on the podcast. The one thing you can always rely on is the dumb American voter.
It's
how
true.
dumb they are.
It's true.
And again, I know I've read a lot this week about, you're talking about, you call people dumb, and it's like pigeonholing or naming or whatever. Listen, here's what the thing is. You're talking to two overly informed, knowledgeable, smart, brilliant women, especially about this. Yeah, about this. Don't fuck with me. Don't even think you can step up to me. Don't fuck with me. Like, don't even. So when I see or hear or talk to people who showed up a month ago and they know Trump's the best option, and I'm like, cool. There were literally people showing up to the polls across the country this week, or on Tuesday.
Undecided.
Oh, I'm sorry. They were like, where's Joe Biden's name? Didn't know. So when you're talking up to us, and you're telling me you don't know Joe Biden's off the ticket, I'm sorry. There comes a point where we would always make excuses.
Yeah.
Oh, people have to work. People are busy. People can't pay attention. Well, that's what's going to lead us down. They're counting on that.
Yeah. But
when you're not paying attention, that's when all this happens.
Social media, how could you not know? First of all,
I think that Tina, they're
in such an algorithm.
Yes,
like
they're in a place where it doesn't. Yes, Tina.
So they just never look at anything political. So their feed is just cats.
Yes.
And like cookies and
who knows what sports. I don't know, whatever, music, whatever they're into. TikTok videos about makeup, whatever it is. But here's the thing, please, I don't ever try to come talk. Somebody tried to talk to me this week, and I was like, you have the most underneath basic knowledge. You don't even have basic knowledge of how the government works. Don't fucking come up to me and try to talk to me about how everything's gonna. Please, you are the most uninformed individual who could try to approach me, and I'm up here, bitch. I'm up here. Like, at least that's one thing I can be confident about. Don't step to me when you haven't been paying attention for 4 years, a year, 2 years.
10 years.
Bitch, I can't.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that.
When I was at the polls, the thing that was the most surprising to me, one, I was at a poll location that 2 years earlier, I was at this, it was like a church, and 2 years earlier, supposedly, it was such a busy location, and that's why they put me there. And it was busy right around, that 7 to 9 o'clock before work. It was a little busy around lunch, and then I left around 3. But there were pockets of, it was just dead on election day. No lines on election day. And I know there's early voting and yada yada. But there were so many people who took both cards, who I would say, okay, here, would you like the voter's guide? Oh, what is it? It's Democratic voter's guide. And then someone would go, well, do you want the Republican voter guide? Oh yeah, sure, I'll take both. And then, would you like the Republican guide from the other person? Sure. And I go, well, do you want the Democratic one? Yeah, I'll take both.
Whatever. That's what I mean.
They're taking both. So they don't even know. They're looking at it. They don't know what's on it.
Girl.
They don't know what's going on. And it is wild to me that they've shown up to vote and they don't know what is going on.
But also, the analysis that I'm seeing now is infuriating. Like, I see all these people all over Twitter going, you don't understand what's about to happen. If you're this is going to happen. If you're this. And I was thinking, do you think the people who either voted for Trump or didn't vote at all, didn't show up at all, do you think they're actually seeing your analysis?
No.
They voted or not voted, and their lives are going on. Stop talking as if you're not in a vacuum. You're in a vacuum, and the only people who are looking at it are people, liberals like me.
Right.
And I'm looking at it going, well, like, and here's the other thing. I love that guy, Jeffrey, forget it. I'm not, you got the book from Annie about fascism rising in the United States. Great. But he said this, he had this tweet yesterday where he said, it's just shocking to me the number of people who are just shrugging their shoulders going, okay. And I'm like, well, that's me. And My next question is, what do you expect of us to do?
Yeah.
You want me to be thrown up, like excited and angry and pissed off about what? I can't fight every broken system. They're all broken.
Everything's
the
broken.
Media. Like Rachel Maddow looks like she's drooling. Like, I'm sorry, but these talking heads are going to get book deals. They have something to chew on for the next 4 years, and I've got to live here. Right. So please don't look at me to have some kind of outrage when all I ever expected from America is to do this. This is where we are supposed to go. Right. So I'm not surprised. I thought she was a great candidate, but American people don't like that.
No.
They like fantasy. They like mirage. They like that idea of like, let's see what this guy does. All right, cool. Let's see what you're right then. Let's see what he does. Let's see what he does.
The other thing with the media, and it happened in 2016, and it's happened from 2016 till now. In all of these years, all they do is give him air. They give him free air all of the time. There's never a time where we're not hearing about him. He's constantly in every single media cycle, whether it's a liberal news feed or a conservative feed. He is everywhere. And they didn't give equal amount of time. Instead of just really blowing up all of the good things of the Biden administration, like they should have really pounded that Build Back Better plan and talked about rural communities and the factories going in and the job growth. Like, you didn't hear about that. And that's what people want to hear about. The whole time, right? Everyone now is like, oh, for the price of eggs, like I lost my liberties. And it's like, well, because those are the things that people are worried about because they can't afford stuff. All they want to know is, how are you going to help me keep my house? How are you going to help me feed my kids? And if they would have pushed, look at what we've done for job growth. Look at if they would have kept pushing and pushing and pushing, maybe that would have been a difference. But I feel like we didn't hear about anything about that. Like, they didn't celebrate victories at all, where the Republicans are constantly putting out the slightest positive thing, they blow it up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And we don't do that.
Well.
And the other thing I'm kind of sick of hearing
yes.
is now the liberals that are like, I don't want to be like the Republicans in 2020, but something's fishy with these elections. Yeah. No, there's nothing fishy.
I saw this too.
There's nothing fishy.
No, there's
know
nothing.
What it is?
No, this is real.
Democrats didn't show up.
Whoop.
Full stop.
Whoop, whoop.
Because when you look at the numbers, Trump's numbers did not change. His base is his base.
Well, Florida, and he got more in Florida.
He got more in Florida, but we had more conservative people coming in here, whatever. But overall, that kind of number stayed the same. The Democrats lost. When you look across demographics, when you look at the percentages that came out in 2020 and the percentages that came out in 2024, they are all in decline. All in decline on the Democratic side. That is a failure of Democratic leadership from the top down.
Yeah.
And they need to own it.
Yeah.
And they need to rip up whatever thing they do to use as a plan, which there is no plan, but
there's no
whatever
plan.
Pretend plan they have.
Yeah.
They need to throw it in the garbage, and they need to really sit down. And we've said it, I feel like, so many times on this podcast, like in the room where it happens, make the room, make it happen, and talk about what do we need to do. What are the Republicans doing? I mean, shit, copy what
I
they're
gotta
doing.
tell you, I have been involved in local political Florida politics since 2017.
Yeah.
It's been 7 fucking years, almost 8 in a couple months.
Like, it's like half our children's lives.
I could predict.
It's half our children's lives.
Yeah, I could predict the statements that were put out this week.
Oh my God!
This before they even came out.
The rah bullshit. We did our best.
I gotta tell you, the results weren't what we hoped for, but we should take pride in the work we did. How about you suck my dick? How about that? And speaking of that, can I say something real quick?
Oh, here we go.
Because this is my last chance. And the only people really benefiting from this ending are the Florida Dems and the Broward Dems, because you're not going to have me on here doing it. Although, I'm online now.
We're
trolling motherfuckers. Yeah. And I will continue to until you step it the fuck up. Okay? What Tina had to go through the last 2 weeks, because this is my only touchstone to somebody who actually wants to be involved in this bullshit, is horrific. Horrific. She's already explained to you last week when she saw some things that she saw at the polls, or maybe 2 weeks ago. She had a disturbing phone call where someone yelled the N-word at her. She had people ripping up stuff and throwing it in her face. Tina is one of the nicest people on the planet, and full stop. Kindest, most generous with her time and her energy. Because she feels like, God bless her, she's going to make a difference.
I know.
I learned in 2018 that's bullshit.
Yeah.
The night of 2018 election, when I saw our good friends lose and Andrew Gillum, we had to do a recount, but it slipped away, and we saw the state go to Ron DeSantis. I learned in that night that the Broward Democratic Party and the Florida Dems have their boot on your neck, and you're never getting up because of how they operate. And so I will never. And even when people demand, we need you to come do this, we need you, stop it. You got to stop right the fuck now. For her sake alone, this is what really pisses me off. How dare you, at any level, at a club or caucus, or anywhere in the state of Florida for the Democratic Party, ask another single human being for a second of their time when you know good and goddamn well you have nothing to pay off with that. There's no plan behind it. So all you're doing is asking people to waste their time, their treasure, their talent, their testimony for an organization that can't be bothered to put a motherfucking ground game plan in order. So it's like going to work for 40 hours, and then at the end of the week your boss is like, well, I don't have any money to pay you. Yeah. What the fuck did I just do all this for? Why am I contributing to something there's no end goal? There's nothing at the end of it. If you had a plan, I'd give you all the time. I talked about that a year ago. If your plan was to put cameras on the tops of alligators and send them into the Everglades, that's a plan, right? That we're going to steal the secrets of the Florida GOP. Yeah. I'll give you $10 for that. Oh my God. But I don't see jack shit. I don't see anything.
We're still waiting.
So
it's incredible.
Stop asking for people to volunteer for you. At any level, I'm fucking serious. It's false. And also, the reason why you have so few volunteers at every fucking level is because you've worn people out. I love Anna Escamani, Florida Representative Anna Escamani. She put a post up this week, or a tweet. Hey, the morning, Wednesday morning, the day after election, but we got to get up, we got to keep fighting. And I was like, I commented, I love you and I appreciate this, but you got to give people some time. Like, people are worn the fuck out. This is time away from their friends, their families, their lives, in hopes of a better life, in hopes of electing a good person, when not Anna Escamani specifically, but the party itself has no plan. Has no plan. So you better stop coming at people and asking them for time. And I mean every one of you. Stop asking people to volunteer for you when you have no plan to win, with no plan to pick up ground game. The Florida Democrats failed so miserably this 2 years, this election. So miserably. And it was a clip that was up today. It was one of my memories that popped up on my Facebook. That a year ago today we put out an episode where I was yelling about how Nikki Fried never put out the $1 million she promised at the Blue Gala in 2023. She promised $1 million to clubs and caucuses. Yeah. It never happened. And we got trounced in 2023 when DeSantis got reelected. And I was screaming, where's the money, Lebowski? Where is it? Where's the money? And it's still not there. And this one, okay, so here we go. Real quick, because this article is going to be in the paper tomorrow morning on November 9th, but it's online today. Why did Florida Democrats collapse in 2024, and how can they rebound? As you can see, it's only 3 pages because there's no rebound. There is no rebound. That's it. Okay, but just a couple things real quick. Now this is interesting. Florida, quote, Florida has become so red it's not only hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, it's hard to see the tunnel, said Mac Stipanovich, a Tallahassee consultant and anti-Trump Republican turned Democrat. By the way, Mac Stipanovich, go fuck yourself. How about this? How about you go find the tunnel and stick it right up your ass? Okay? How about you bend over, then we'll really see a tunnel. How about that? How about that? I'm tired of you motherfuckers, you consultants. You're the reason we
like to collect that money.
They come in, they don't know jack shit about Florida. They don't know jack shit about Florida, and they come in and they think they can run the chess pieces over here. Y'all don't know Florida?
No.
It's a hellscape, motherfucker, and every corner's darker than the next. You think South Florida's like North Florida, like the Everglades, like the fucking, like Orlando? Bitch, you don't know what you're doing. No. So that's interesting. A consultant's got a fucking opinion. But you know what? That consultant, I don't know. Allegedly, right. I'm gonna guess upwards of 6 figures this year.
Probably.
For the work he did.
And I'm curious, because we already know, just like in the Gillum campaign, Miami-Dade.
Ooh, bitch.
What happened to any boots on the ground Miami-Dade? Again.
Yeah, nothing.
Again.
Nothing.
Again.
Well, you know, they replaced that chair. They removed that chair. Oh, girl.
Nothing.
Who the fuck knows what's going on?
Nothing happened.
So, here's another from the article. This year started on a good note for the party, right? 2024.
It's it?
It was coming off a win at the Jacksonville mayor's race.
Oh,
remember?
That's right. That was exciting.
That was a big deal.
That was exciting.
But it was, by the way, and also it was
Short-lived.
Also followed up by the Democrat Tom Keene, who won a special election for the Central Florida seat in the Florida House, thanks in part to a wave of nonpartisan voters. So, but of course the party, now you remember this. Oh, honey, it was like Christmas morning with a pig on the table with Big Apple in its mouth. They ate that fucking roast up and they're like, this is Florida's in play!
Yeah.
This is what they pointed to, these two races. By the way, can I also say something else? They were special session races or something like so there was nothing else to do in the state. Yeah. It was 2 races and they focused all their energy on that. That's how they, okay. But on Tuesday, Keene was defeated.
Bye.
He was in office for not even a full session. Yeah. Republican U.S. Senator Rick Scott got his first double-digit victory. And the party lost the state attorney's race in Hillsborough. We know about that. Yeah. Florida Democratic Party Chair Nikki Fried was defiant Wednesday despite the losses. Quote, "Our fight is not over.
Girl.
Our fight to defend freedom and democracy in Florida is our sacred responsibility, and the only way we can claw back political power in the Sunshine State is to stay in the fight. The people of our state depend on it," end quote.
Okay, but when you... What is the plan for the fight, though?
Oh my God, look at what I wrote. What did I write? What did I write?
Oh, then what's the plan? Yeah, what is the plan for the fight? Because you can't just tell us to fight.
Yeah.
We need guidance.
Yep.
Right? You're the captain of the ship here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And she didn't respond when they asked if she was going to continue her role, but she will, because she got nothing else going on until the governor's race ramps up.
I swear to God.
And she's going to run for that.
No.
Despite all of it. No. And the thing that I underline double here is the people of our state depend on it. Then you better start acting like it. Let me tell you something. The way I would be losing my mind and organizing if I was the fucking chair of this party. It's gonna take a long time. I didn't expect her to like turn the whole ship around. No. But I also didn't expect the waste of time and money that has been put forward. And the lies and promises that were broken. Like, come on, girl.
Chair, like the last
Manny Diaz,
where I was like, oh God, thank God. I was so excited about Nikki Fried. I was so excited about Nikki Fried. And
it's not an easy job.
It's of course not. But again, you know, everything is top down, right? So at the national level, like, what are they doing? What guidance are they giving her? And then what is she then putting out to all of the clubs and caucuses or to area leaders or something? Like, I just don't understand why we don't have a clear path forward.
Right.
I don't think it's asking a lot, especially for people who give their time to want to know what is the path forward. How many times do I have to say, like, can't we have a calendar? Can't we, like, look at dates? Can't we look at areas? Like, all the data is there. Where did we lose seats? How can we gain them back? And the biggest failure is with the young people.
Ooh.
You know, at the colleges.
And you would think that would be the thing today, would be like in these days would have been, here's what we're gonna do, like this is what I don't know. This is my favorite because this motherfucker stole my line and I should have trademarked this.
It.
Evan Power, who's the state GOP chair, who should be given a raise. He gets a raise, right?
Yeah.
Well, double digits.
Look at when you look at the state, there's like 2 little dots of blue. It is wild.
So he said, quote, the change she made, talking about Nikki Fried, the change she made adding the panther to the logo was appropriate as they are really an endangered species.
Woo!
End quote. And I was like, this motherfucker stole my line.
Oh,
and also, where's the lie?
Yeah.
These are the things that y'all been doing. So two galas ago, it was, we're taking back the red, white, and blue. And that's what she was, and they're all excited that we're taking back red, white, and blue. And then she also said the promising of $1 million that was 2023.
Much did they spend on
and
that
then
logo?
that was in 2023. And then And then in 2024, she put the panther up, and I was like, girl, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's what we're all into the marketing of it all.
Yep.
But who's paying for this insurance? Who's gonna do that?
And who cares about a stupid panther?
It's distraction.
Oh,
it's a distraction
God.
from work that we can't do apparently. The next test for Democrats will be in 2026 when DeSantis is term limited. Well, we'll see. We got a session coming up.
Well, it's gonna be.
We'll find out. He might want a third term.
He might, along with Trump.
Yeah. So when DeSantis is term limited and the governor's race is wide open, this consultant Stepanovich said Democrats, quote, they need a, quote, reasonable, charismatic alternative, end quote. So you know John Morgan, he's this big attorney guy.
A reasonable, charismatic alternative? We need someone who can win.
Yeah, listen to this.
That's what we need.
There's this guy, John Morgan, who's an attorney. You'll see his pictures everywhere. Like, he has billboards everywhere. He's in Orlando. Anyway, Morgan and Morgan.
Oh, yeah.
So he's a big Democratic, donator.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so he has here's his quote, which, quote, in the present environment, I can't think of one Democrat that would have a chance for governor. Morgan said in an email, then he said, quote, it would need to be a star in business or a celebrity, end quote. Bitch, why don't you go fuck yourself, Morgan and Morgan? Why don't you take all those dollars that you fucking collect all over the state as a statewide lawyer and lay in your bed at night and fucking sleep and shut the fuck up? How about that? How about that? How about you catch me outside? How about that? How about catch me outside with your fucking celebrity?
Oh my God.
Who's that, you?
Do we need
Are you a celebrity?
Do we need more celebrities?
How about you just shut the fuck? By the way,
There are good people in the state.
Okay, but yeah, there are. And how about this? Who wrote this? Stephen Lemongello. How about you stop asking hacks for quotes? Okay? Who's putting that out there? That's how you know this is a joke. That's how you know we're a joke.
Celebrity. Oh my God.
We need a celebrity like I need a fucking hole in the head.
Trump's a celebrity, so we need one too. Oh, please.
He also disliked that Democrats ran a candidate. Oh, okay, now here we go. Jaden D'Onofrio, friend of the pod, talked about he has the Florida Futures. I mean, he did his best. They focused on a few races for them. I got to tell you, quite frankly, I haven't checked in and I don't know what's going on there. All right? I know they were doing work, but I don't know what happened with those races they were focused on. He had some quotes. First of all, he disliked that Democrats ran a candidate in every state house district, including ones they had no chance of winning, which he said took party resources away from the races they could have won. Remember that, everybody? Remember the billboards we put all over the state because we want to put somebody in the seat, and they did, and then they took party money, even though it's a full red seat, probably has been red since the KKK was running that shit. Yeah. In the 1800s,
waste of time.
But they got fucking burning crosses, but they're like, there's a Democrat knocking on the door, shaking. That makes sense. Where'd you come up with that idea on your bus tour?
I know.
Okay, here's the laugh out loud. I put LOL next to this.
Oh God.
Okay. They're talking about extremism and like the only way that we can get rid of Trump is we can start winning in Florida is if it's too extreme. But I don't know how much more extreme you can get with the GOP.
What are you talking about? We have no rights as women. In the
He
state.
wrote, this is what he said. That could be the fallout from Trump's plan, quote, mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. He said, voters might turn on the GOP, he added, if there's a, quote, video from all around the country night after night of weeping mothers cradling their children being dragged by big, hulking policemen to buses to be shipped to concentration camps in southwestern United States, end quote. Bitch, we saw that already. It was called 2017.
Yeah, kids in cages.
Mr. Consultant, excuse me. I remember standing outside of a Miami juvenile detention center where children who had been taken from their mothers were behind walls. Yeah. And we stood there and watched these children day in and day out get bussed into this facility. That was my 2017. So I know you just got here. I honestly don't know anything about him, but I'm going to assume this motherfucker just got here. But we already been there. And nobody gave a fuck. So you could keep all your big money ideas, your consultant ideas, and shove them up that tunnel of an asshole that you have. I don't even know why I'm coming for this guy. I guess I just need someone to take it out on.
Well, yeah. And
so wait. Okay. Go ahead.
No, go.
My thing is going to be the only thing I actually gave a fuck about because I didn't think we were going to win. Abortion.
Yeah.
And so here we are. I gotta say once again on this podcast, because I don't know how many times I've had to say it, but I'm gonna say it one more time for you deaf, dumb, and ugly motherfuckers out there. You have no idea what it's like to be a woman in this country, in this state, in this body, having to ask you,
for
the
permission.
Voters, to care about me.
Yeah. And for permission.
What's the deal?
To do what we want with our bodies.
What's the deal with that? By the way, you don't know me.
No.
Right? But what do you care? Why can't you vote that way? So Florida had a 60% threshold we had to read at voters. The highest in any state in the country.
Yep.
And we raised it on purpose. There's some corporations that they changed that. It used to be 50%. We got more than half the Floridians who voted, 57%, almost 58%, voted to protect abortion rights. But because we didn't reach 60% threshold,
Bye.
even that, most Floridians, the majority of Floridians want to protect. We have to keep fighting and take it to the bitch. Where do you think we are?
Yeah.
The legislature. That's a super majority with DeSantis and the government. You want people to continue to fight for that? What are you asking of people? And what are you asking? That's the wrong ask. The ask is go buy your Plan B pills. Make yourself
donate to emergency funds. Donate to emergency
absolutely.
funds.
That for people who they're saving women's lives here.
Yeah.
That's what the ask is. Yeah. The ask isn't telling people to get on a bus to Tallahassee for 7 or 8 hours and talk to a bunch of doughy, white-faced motherfuckers about my goddamn body. You can keep that fucking shit.
Because the next thing they're going to do in Florida is what they've done in Texas, where, it's going to be further criminalized.
6 weeks is going to be gone in 4 months. 4 months, that's gone.
It's going to be gone. And we are endangering the lives of women. And I shared this with you guys on our little group chat, but right now you have these Andrew Tate bros who are putting things online, these young Gen Zers that are like in their 20s, these college kids that are saying to young girls online, to young adult women online, your body, my choice, forever. They're saying that. They're also being told, because women are talking about, withholding sex, and Andrew Tate says women threatening sex strikes as if you have a choice. So rape culture is just now being normalized, I guess. And, the message for me, to people listening is you better start talking to your sons. People need to start talking to their sons, because these kids are online and the algorithm comes up and these alpha bros are saying some really hurtful stuff. In a university in Texas 2 days ago, they had kids walking around, one with a sign that was a homophobic slur, and the other one was women are property. Right. Women are property. That's where we are. And for all the people that voted for Trump and said, just like last time, he's not going to be so bad. Already, within a day, this is what men are doing to young women online. This is what they're doing at their college campuses. You think those frat boys now are going to be like, we got to protect women? No, they're going to feel like they can take whatever they want from women. That they own women. It's disgusting. But that's what they voted for. You got kids today. I'm sure you saw the post of the young black kids across I think it was in the Northeast, and it was someone actually who that I know. Her son's friend got one of the texts. Yeah, and the text was basically a racist text to young black kids, telling them to get ready to go work on the plantation. They're going to be picked up. This is what you guys wanted, right?
The FBI is now investigating.
This is what you guys wanted. Well, the FBI, who knows? That could be gone. a Trump administration. So then you have Stephen Miller, who's already talking about not just deporting immigrants, right? Because we saw the Latino vote really went towards Trump. They like that strong man. They like a strong man. Stephen Miller is like, oh, we're gonna like unnaturalize people. So you have your citizenship, but you might not, because they might, and they're not gonna come after, you know, the French or the Italians even, or the British, or even you know, folks from Spain, right? Not the Europeans, because they're the European whites. They will be going after those immigrants from South America, though. And this is what you voted for. And I want to feel bad, but at the same time, you know, I talked to someone the other day that was like, America needs to face plant. Maybe we do.
Listen, I gotta tell you,
because we've talked about burning shit down. They're gonna burn it down themselves.
This is not a surprise to me. It's not a surprise to me. And when things, listen, here's my point too about Trump and what we can expect. He never built the wall.
Right.
He never undid a lot of things. He did bad things when he was president.
He did very bad things.
But he didn't do a lot of the things he had promised. Now, hopefully, we still have the House. We don't know yet. It's Friday, November 8th. We're not sure. But
hopefully, there's guardrails. Hopefully, our Constitution, right? Like that we're set up to have guardrails to prevent tyranny. But who knows?
We can't count on any of those things.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, let's take it as it comes.
Yeah.
Expect the worst. I got my Amazon package this morning with all the Plan B pills in it that I could muster. Not necessarily for me, but for anybody in my life that might need them in the future or whatever. They can sit on the shelf for 4 years.
4 years.
I would suggest everybody do that, whether you have daughters or not, or if you have sons or not. I don't know, but it's something that will be out. They promised to outlaw that, and it's living in a state where I'm thousands and thousands of miles from being able to receive a safe abortion, or someone in my life having to have a safe abortion. We're fucked. Yeah. So I've had to have that conversation now this week of like, we are in this now together and we have to protect each other. So that's what I suggest. Yeah. Let's take it as it comes. You're super panicked. I'm calming you and my mother down this week. I need a Valium.
I don't know why. I continue to hope, and I continue to just believe that people are better than this. And the thing though that I've been thinking about, because I did work the polls, and at every location that I was at a very highly Republican.
But make sure, remind me to thank the people who sent you to those locations.
Which is fine. There were people though, but you're there all day, so you're chatting, you're having conversations. And there were a couple of people that I had conversations with who were Republicans, they were very nice people. And when we were talking about certain issues, there were things that we did have in common. There were things, especially on the local level, that, you know, like, all of us here are sick of the overdevelopment that's happening. You know, there's things that we can agree on, on fiscal spending, on development, on other issues. And I don't think that every single Trump voter is this horrific thing. Yeah. But they have voted for the whether or not they are, like, that's what they voted in, and I feel like they still have to own that. Like, you might not be that, but you're allowing it. You're allowing it. You are allowing a dude who, you know, performed fellatio on a microphone 2 days before the election to sit in the highest office of the land. You're okay with that, and I think you can't keep distancing yourself to go, well, you know, I'm sorry about that. That's not me. Like, I really voted for eggs, and I voted for this, and I get that. But at the same time, you still have to remember that it's the party of white supremacists. When the white supremacists are the ones who are supporting Trump, you're with them. Those are your people, and you have to own those people.
I don't know anybody in my life, not one single person, who won't be affected by anything that he's if he gets to do everything he's promised. Every single person in one way or the other will be affected by in my life. Correct. That's why it's always surprising to me that. But again, we're talking about people who are misinformed, uninformed, dumb.
Severely
sorry,
misinformed.
I'm sorry, but You know what?
Severely
Can I say
misinformed.
something? I don't know anything about, name it.
Tariffs.
No, I know. Now I know about tariffs.
But they sure don't.
I don't know
They
anything
sure
about
don't.
football.
Right.
It would be like me going to a sports betting and going, I literally would just be like, I won a football pool in high school with senior year with a bunch of dudes. They were friends of mine and they were nerds and they loved the fucking sports. I won that pool of money because I looked at the jerseys and I liked the colors.
Yeah.
That's how I won.
I
So
used to
that's
do
what I'm
horse-
saying.
I used
Like,
to do every now and then I go
you like the names of the horse.
I pick the cute
That'd
name
be
of the horse.
that would be
how
like
I
that's
did
what
it.
so
Yeah.
so I don't know anything about football.
Yeah.
So for me to go bet money, put my own money down on a football game would be like throwing
It's
it out the
done.
window.
Yeah.
If you don't know shit, maybe you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. And you should just maybe look into it. But that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people who are informed and like shocked by this and have been paying attention and worried that if he does half the things he does, we're in trouble. And then the other half that just go, yeah, this is good, and they move on, and their lives will maybe be affected, maybe not, but we're all in this together now.
Yeah.
And so we just have to take it one day. I wish we were ending the podcast on a higher note, but we're not.
Well, I wanted to say, I guess like the final message for people is, find community. Don't isolate. Don't try to forget. I've talked to a lot of people who are just like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm finished. I'm not giving another dime. I'm not doing anything. And I wanted to do that. Like I said, I wanted to do that too. But this is when we have to keep moving forward, and they want us to quit, right? They want us to feel defeated. And it's like, buckle up. It's going to be a rough 4 years. And we worked through it before, and we'll work through it again. And there's a great quote by Thoreau, which is, live your beliefs and you can turn the world around. So that's what I'm trying to hold on to, right? Like, just, we can't just throw in the towel. So
well, if we're wrapping it up, I wanted to say some things too. So I wanted to say thank you to a bunch of people, especially our patrons who year after year have given us money every month. Past and present, but including right now we have Justin, love you, big love, big love, big love. Justin, Katsumi, Laurel, Josh, my friend Josh, big ups Orlando, Nancy Fry, the Keeping Up with the Kardashian guys, Nick, Robin, Joe, we love you guys so much, thank you. Rob at That Record gets me high, love you Rob so much.
Rob, I still gotta get on your show, yo.
Rob, and also every time I'm on there, he talks so much, says so many wonderful things about us, so thank you so much. Robin, Raymond, our friend Adam, Barry, my cousin Melanie, love you so much, and that beautiful baby boy. Margaret and Medea, and of course my friend Jordan from high school, who when I tweeted the photo today saying we're recording tonight, he's like, oh my god, thank you so much for everything. He was very
our
sweet.
number one fan.
And I left that name as the last one, Annette, our number one fan, Annette, who has been freaking out and sending us messages on Patreon saying, I'm coming to Florida, I want to visit you. And I'm like, girl, come on.
Come.
Or if I ever get to Ohio, I'll come to Ohio to see you.
Done with Ohio.
That. And sent us food and gifts, and has been
just a great cheerleader.
Just knowing one person listening. And we're always here, Annette, so please send us messages.
Yes.
I wanted to thank our fellow podcasters. Like I said, Rob at That Record Got Me High, the Kardashian boys who've had us on before, Molly and Alyssa at SOS Podcast who had us on a few times.
Love them.
Richie at The Cult Macabre, whose podcast is doing fantastic. We love you, Richie, so much. I talked to him today. He wanted me to tell you hi. He loves you.
I love him too.
So excited, and it's the podcasting community has been pretty amazing to us from the beginning, and it's a fun place to be and a fun place to create, and it's been a joy to do that. I also especially want to thank all of the journalists, elected officials, community activists, and everyone who stopped over here for a minute to talk to us.
How great was that?
Obviously, Congressman Ted Deutsch was my dream come true. Thank you so much.
God, those shoes are hard to fill.
Very hard to and they're not filled by Air Jordans, who
No.
I don't know what's going on there. Okay.
Don't either.
Before I give my goodbye message to what I want to say to everybody, Here, just take this.
Oh, no, please don't
Just take
do
that
this
right
to
now.
me.
Just take that.
Don't do this to me.
Maybe I should move this tissue box over here so we
I'm
have
gonna be a
it.
blubbering mess.
I don't care about this.
Yeah.
Like, it's part of my life. It's something. It's work. You know, I have carved out Saturday mornings to record. Sunday mornings I edit. I put everything up, and every day we post something, create the graphics.
Yes.
It's a lot of work, right?
It's a lot.
And it started because I was doing interviews online for Women's
Conversations with candidates.
and interviewing people and sitting here live, having live conversations, and obviously I have no fucking issue talking to people. Tina was working the camera, and our friend Emma Cullum was like, "You should have a podcast."
Yeah.
And I was telling Tina, I'm like, "You're not gonna believe it." And Tina's like, "No, we should have a podcast." I'm like, "Oh wait, what?" And how this has become something that's been a part of our lives for 5 years. When I really didn't know Tina, like we knew each other, but we never hung out.
Yeah.
And so I am okay. I love this connection and being able to yell. And I love this week our good friend Gabriella, who's in Massachusetts, holding it down up there in Mass for us, and our friend Denise Horland. Gabriella shared like this. She goes, "I don't know what y'all are doing to get through this, but I listened to this podcast and talked about." And I said all about my yelling, and she's like, "No, you don't understand. It helps me get through this. Like hearing someone else is upset." And our friend Denise Horland said the same thing. Yeah. This is okay because I'm going to be able to scream at the wall and no one will get hurt, and this can all go away. But this.
I know.
This is the only gift I needed.
I gotta tell you.
That's it. This friendship is what I'm taking from this. And thank God, because this person in my life changed everything for me. I did not know that someone like Tina could exist in a world like this. The reason it even works so well is because I'm like this and Tina's at the polls and she's hopeful. And I'm like, please. And I'm telling her, protect yourself, right? Because I know this world is nuts. But Tina sees the world. To see the world through Tina's eyes every week is a fucking blessing to me. And I'm so grateful forever to have her in my corner. She wants to beat people up for me.
That's true.
She threatened to beat someone up for me. And she has been supportive and kind through the 5 years.
I'll give a fuck.
I mean, I'll throw a fist and then I'm going to run. So, but hopefully I hit them and don't miss. But our lives have gone upside down and inside out in these 5 years.
They have.
In ways health-wise, marriages, relationships, children. Our children are good friends now. Like it's
so
just
cute.
It's just the greatest gift to me ever is having Tina in my life and having her in my corner. I can't explain to you the love and joy I have from that, thank God.
I feel the same way, and I said it to you. I was crying while I typed it out to you, but like when I say that you're my soulmate, like
for real.
You are, like, I can't imagine like my life without you in it. Like I can't. Like you are like my fucking family. And that's it.
Italian though?
It's Italian. It's fucking Italian. Like I love you so much, and the thing I'm gonna miss the most is just seeing your face every week.
Same.
And that's why I'm like, that's it. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna hound you until you see me. So that's just how it's gonna have to be. And I know our kids are gonna want to hang out.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be doing work, girl.
Yeah, this is not the end for us. We will be out and about and doing work, and we'll be posting on our Instagram and our accounts just for like local stuff so you guys can keep up. And we're gonna keep the RSS feed up for as long as we can, and of course the YouTubes will be up there.
Yeah.
But our DMs are open. Slide in. Please slide in and tell us about the podcast.
DMs.
So the last thing I wanted to say was this. Okay. I wanted, for my goodbyes at least, I wanted to say, I'm going to read it because otherwise I won't get through it. But I wish you all well. I wish you love and joy. I wish you peace and harmony in your lives. I ask you treat others with kindness and respect. I ask that you pay attention to the injustices and speak out when you see them. Hold your elected officials accountable and the people in power who take these actions that we're going to witness. You can do this by joining a community organizing group in your area. You can do this by donating money to abortion groups in the South who will need to help save the lives of women and girls right now and for the foreseeable future. I ask that you never ever bury your head in the sand and forget who really needs us right now. Women, girls, the LGBTQ community, especially trans children, immigrants, people of color, especially Black women who for too long had been voting in this country to save our asses with little in return.
Nothing.
And most of all, I ask that you protect yourselves, protect your mental health and your heart. We love you, and we are forever grateful for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you for allowing us to have a space in your lives, for listening to us, for letting us know how you feel about the podcast. It's going to be very strange to not be doing this anymore.
Yes.
I don't want to say I'm open to doing a podcast or doing this again in the future, but I definitely am happy for the break, and
me too.
And
I feel the same way.
And the fight continues.
The fight continues, and if we decide to, do this as a hiatus, it's a hiatus, and if we come back, it comes back. Because, like we say, it's our podcast. We can do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah, we'll see how this feels.
Yeah, we'll see how it feels, and you'll find us online. We're gonna keep doing stuff online, and I know that we're gonna keep that Muck Insta active.
Yeah.
So, and maybe the Twitter. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm ready to get on Twitter.
I deleted my personal account.
Good for you.
There. But, you're going to find us and just connect.
Yeah. Okay, well.
Oh my God. All right. Ready?
No, because I usually say I'll see you next week.
I know.
Oh, God.
It's okay. We got this. Okay. All right?
Can't say it.
I was thinking about this the whole time.
I can't say it. Hold on a second.
I know. All right, ready? We can't. Look at what this is.
It's so stupid. Because it almost feels like I'm saying goodbye to you, and
but it's not.
It breaks my fucking heart.
We're not. Okay.
I'll
hound you. I'll just knock on your door next week. Fucking
Wait, I'm gonna be sleeping. I don't want to sleep.
Oh
Not next week.